World of YouTube, Tearful Sight here. Going over a little unsolved mystery that I think really needs attention. Now this is one of these cases that not only is disturbing, but literally has a bad case of law enforcement judgment. So, with that being said, I'm sure you're gonna know where I'm gonna go with this next. Now, as you can see, we have a crime scene, and this is a route. Now, back in the 90s, I can honestly say, kids trying to get their independence, I can say honestly, begin to decay in time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still see kids out there doing things at a young age. I mean, I have seen kids about 7, 8 years old, sometimes 6 on the streets, but with stuff like this that happens, it's tough these days to even let your kid walk out the friggin' door, let alone give them independence. I mean, my kids do some things here and there, but, you can't. I mean, yeah, and what parent ain't sitting there every second of the day when that kid's not around you and you don't see him, you don't hear him, and you're saying, oh boy. And it's stories like these that really make you think, wow, wait a minute, I haven't heard from that kid in a while, and you're sitting there texting them on the phone, or even if they have a phone, every kid should have a phone these days. I mean, monitored, of course, but back in the 90s, there weren't too many cell phones kids could have run, but at least they could have had one to call, or even when they did start coming out, something to call, but then again, them were out of your roof for price. But anyways, where the arrow is indicates where Katherine would walk home for her little Independence Day, taking herself on to walk a short distance, not even 10 minutes, I would say. 10, 15 minutes tops. They would drop her off at the mailbox. This kid used to love getting the mail and taking a walk home. And of course, like any other parent, now, not to be up the kid's butt or nothing, I guess you could say, the mother went up, further up to the right after the mailbox and drove home that way because they were in the car, of course. The little girl had a brother. Excuse me, then I'm a coffee this morning. Did have a brother. But of course, he would ride home with his mother, their mother. So on this day, now as you can see, the mother went up to the right. The arrow where the girl was walking, body found up there. Now, the police, and mind you, this woman drove, I want to say, either a Tahoe or a Suburban with barn doors that opened up. Now, if anybody knows that vehicle and knows what barn doors are, they open up, straight out at you when you're pulling open, and they open from, from out to right to left, straight out. And the only reason why I explain this is because you got to visualize this. So as we owe either a big Suburban or Tahoe, the police come to investigate because this girl should have been home already. And, of course, she wasn't home. Her brother was outside playing and ran in and told her, their mother. So immediately the mother gets in the vehicle and drives around. Now as she's driving, she finds a body laying in the ground. Now keep picturing the fact of the girl was laying straight down. Her feet, how can I say it, were bent out straight. Everything was laid straight down. Her head was obviously turned to the left. But picture her feet sticking out, legs straight, arms were bent up on each side of her head. So they were, the hands were straight out or whatever over her head. And, the mother got frantic, knew she shouldn't have touched her, but she thought, I think she did the right thing. And, what the hell is that? Oh, why? And, she shouldn't have done nothing, but she got her to the hospital. But of course, there's that thing, I don't even think the woman had a cell phone either, so rushing home to get the call, and then having the ambulance come about, who knows how long this ambulance would have been out in this part of the neck of the woods, But she got her to the hospital, and I guess she ended up in a coma and eventually passed away. Now, this is a kid, and, a parent should know their kid best. Whether it be going to a psychiatrist, whether it be, going to the school and advocating for some of this stuff that the kid, you can't, when you go to a therapist, you can't really determine a kid's, diagnosis because they're so young and their brain is developing. But for the behaviors that kid's doing, the parent is the best advocate, unless they're not one of them piece of crap parents that are beating, abusing, raping, whatever, and lying. If there's a good parent, and I could imagine this lady was, don't even know her, and, she don't look like the type that would abuse her kids. But the law enforcement, and even with the teachers and stuff, I'm sure these people got looked into, and but the main thing that these officers, investigators did was say, at first, because they didn't have an autopsy yet, was this little girl hopped on the back of the Suburban. Now, yes, Suburbans do have a bumper, and I think it did have a rack on it that you can grab your hand on top. But this girl was, short. I want to say she was at least about maybe 3 feet tall. But to get on the back of a Suburban and to hang on to that rack, she would have had to shook the Suburban. Even a lady came out to show the back of the Suburban, how the doors open, the rack, what she would have had to have done to get up on top of that. And even if she would have grabbed the handle, and the handle on the barn door was one of them handles you stick your fingers up in and pull towards you, and it pulls the door out towards you. So yeah, there would be no damn way that girl could have hopped up on a friggin' back of a Suburban. Now remember, this is all because they didn't have the autopsy. Autopsy definitely told different, and they were gonna leave it at that. But even still to this day, there's no nothing on this case. I mean, as you can see, it is a secluded area. Probably minimal neighbors on this road. And that's what makes this case, right, very disclosed of getting anything for evidence. But who knows? I don't even know if they did maybe a DNA test on this girl, if she'd been touched or. But as soon as they got the autopsy and we got this, we have a laceration to the head or whatever, the back, the elbows, the back, this hip, and the left hand. I mean right hand. No, right hand. Right there, you can see the cut. Now, the autopsy guy said there's only one way this could have happened. And they even had to put it in there about this now. This happened after the fact. And the lady literally had to mention in the video when she was going over the Suburban in the back of it, that the girl, how would she grab onto the top of the Suburban or that rack, and her right hand had a cut or whatever. I think it was broken maybe. And I mean, I couldn't even believe they let them put that in there, because there's no chance in hell this girl got messed up like this before getting on the truck. What the hell? I mean, it was a messed up situation and a messed up report. So that only also leads me to say, you know, when they completed everything, it's like, wow. I mean, here's this street in the article. And here they are saying in the newspaper, she either fall or jump from a vehicle that may have killed her. Yeah, this is something that they came up with. And it was more, you know, realistic than, that girl jumped on the back of your Suburban. She was fooling around and fell off. No. Over here, back at the old picture, but see something that's added now? So you got your mailbox, you got the route, you got the house, and you got a vacant lot. Yeah. There it is, folks. There it is. Now, who is the question? And like I said, this is, I mean, I got to do some mapping on this one. I mean, I'm hoping that they ain't got many houses built maybe from this time, but I got to check out this area. And if this vacant lot might be even just, you know, filled in now, because it could be built in, but I want to check out this area. Because, of course, my predictions, of course, and obviously this person is still out there. I mean, I don't think it might have been a, you know, professional kidnapper. I think it might have been someone starting out. And I think this kid fought when she got, you know, she got petrified of this person or persons. But I'm thinking it was probably just one. And this girl probably got petrified. Was probably kicking and screaming. And that only lets you know right there how secluded this area is. And yeah, probably a handful of houses on this circle road. And right, why they would pass the girl's house is beyond me. You have a vacant lot, and you would think they would just go out the way, the mailboxes are and get a clean getaway, unless it was a neighbor. Could have been going up to that cul-de-sac up here, right up there. Now, because that's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thought theory I could have, unless that person, like I said, was an amateur kidnapper, getting out there, trying the ropes, want to see what it's like to kidnap, goofed up, went the wrong way. Sometimes people, when they drive, I would say, if you go down a familiar road, or if you've been stalking this girl maybe, which I think they were too, if that's the case. I think they were stalking her. I mean, that's what makes the neighbor, more conclusive in this case. Because if they knew this family, knew they lived there, and all of a sudden, he turns and twists, that would make a perfect, and they don't even say if they, interviewed any witnesses, so. But if that's the case, but then you get some people that do, when you have a habit of turning. Well, I know I do it sometimes, man. When I'm going somewhere and I'm not going to the place where I, have a habit of going to, and I want to go somewhere else, I'll turn to that place and make a habit of it. But that would be for the neighbor, if that was the case. If this was a amateur person, just randomly kidnapping, that'd make it weird that the person turned that way to go near the house. And I think when that girl saw her house and they drove by, she got more hysterical and got up to this place. And who knows, maybe that person threw her out, or no, she did jump. And the person just got out and snapped her neck maybe. Killed her. And then, or did what they had to do, maybe even strangulation. I don't even think they even said what the hell happened to her, only that she, with, what do you say, only had them certain injuries on her. And then she was brain dead and, got knocked out unconscious. Maybe the fact is, I think she did get knocked out because her head hit so hard, and it looked like she hit head first because both her elbows had, scuff marks on them. So that would lead me to believe that when she fell, she had her arms out and her elbows hit and her head cracked right off the ground. So that would only leave the question of the person in the car got out, left her body all straight, like she fell forward on her head off a sidewalk or something. But let alone, why the hell would she be walking past her house way up there is beyond me. Yeah. See, this person ain't too bright who did the dirty deed on this girl. But the officers also, the investigators, ain't too bright either. Because they were going to say she jumped on the back of a vehicle and fell off. The examiner said that was a moving car, either falling out or jumping out. So, with that being said, oh man, only one can just imagine what this girl went through in this short period of time. I mean, it was just, you can only say at least 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops of what happened to this girl, and here today, gone tomorrow. Or here today, gone today. You can't even say tomorrow. Huh. But it's cases like this, man, that, right, make you think, man, your kid's out there trying to be independent. There's always got to be that piece of crap, that POS that's gotta ruin everything. Excuse me. Disturbing, disgusting. Just in case you wanna, you know, smack everybody involved that just, oh yeah, she jumped on your vehicle, or she was a kid having fun, just having a goofy time, and you know, the only ones that know their kids are their siblings, parents, family, immediate family, you know. And I highly doubt this kid was the type to want to be a adventurous, Indiana Jones, right? Jumping on and off in vehicles and yeah, okay. But it is proven she was picked up in this vacant lot. So, what really happened that day? I mean, we know what happened, but maybe this kid put up a damn good fight, and I hope she... And that's the thing, man. If there was no witnesses that saw any suspiciousness. But then again, this vacant lot could have had like a bunch of bushes or weeds, so no one could see a vehicle hiding. Or it could rightfully been someone just... Well, I can't say coming there and just looking and then walking away, but I don't think that would be it. Someone knew that area or picked that area to be, you know, their hunting grounds. I mean, it could possibly be someone in that neighborhood, you know, and they didn't even go around and did no witness reports, I don't think. That was a big mistake. But it's too long now, and this poor family is just waiting for an answer. But this is one of them cases that is so uninformational, it's ridiculous. Investigated just poorly. And I'm sure these investigators at the time didn't even want to deal with it anymore, because hey, a body was found. What do we got to look for? Yeah. No, you mean a body was taken. A life was taken. And just to think that they... Man, it's just one of them cases where you just got to keep shaking your head, man, and say, and dream about it not happening to you. Just one of them cases that drive you insane trying to figure out what happened to this poor soul. But give this girl a moment of silence. Till that next video, be safe, always be safe, take care. And 100, 1,000, 110 million times beware. This world ain't nice. This world is pure evil. And for people to say that hell is beneath us, you're insane. Because this is hell. The world you see, the world we know, the world you live. Hell. You're in hell. Take a damn good look at it. Damn good look at it. You're in hell. The bowels of it. And until we get rid of the most evilest, dirtiest, sick, demented people on this planet, it ain't never gonna be safe. And in this girl's case, it will never be solved. Because that person, the only smart thing they did was keep themselves unseen. Beware, people. Beware. Out.